Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you guys all so much for being here, your continued love and support here on the channel. So today's pick a card, we're going to do what you need to know right now. We're going to do 3 groups, and please choose intuitively. If you do feel drawn to more than one of the groups, that is perfectly okay for today's reading, as you might have messages that go and spread across the different groups, or it might just be one today, whatever you're feeling intuitively. So let's get into it. What do you need to know right now? Group number 1. What do you need to know right now? We have the Oracle here, and it says wait for important information. Group 2, what do you need to know right now? We have the Shaman, trust in higher forces. Group number 3, what do you need to know right now? We have the Peacekeeper here with let go of the need to be right. Okay, so maybe this is like trying to prove a point or something, an opinion, something as it relates to other people. So let's do Opalite for group 3. Let's do, I'm feeling this Lapis Lazuli we're going to do for group 1. And then group 2, let's do Jade. Okay, so group 1, what you need to know right now, we have Lapis Lazuli and the Oracle, and it says wait for important information. Group number 2, we have the Shaman here with trust in higher forces, and that is with the Jade. Group number 3, you're going to be Opalite and the Peacekeeper card. So those are the choices today. Once we get into the tarot, we'll see where these messages are going or what Spirit feels that you need to know right now. Timestamps will be down below for you all, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, group 1. So those of you that resonated with the Lapis Lazuli and the Oracle, it says wait for important information. So perhaps this is something that Source, Universe, God, Spirit, your higher self is trying to provide more information to you, maybe about a decision, something that you need to know. And so this is Spirit asking you to wait for important information. Maybe some of you are literally waiting for some type of response from the universe if you've asked something here. So we have wait for more important, or wait for important information. Let's see the Oracle. Group 1, what do you need to know right now? I also feel that those of you that have chosen this pile there could be some type of change that's happening or will happen. It could be something that's helping you to make some kind of a decision. But I also feel that those of you that chose this group are incredibly intuitive. Okay? And so if we're in a place where we're kind of overthinking something, the universe could be telling you to just kind of stop. Okay? Clear your mind and be open to receiving, right? She's got her eyes closed. She's just kind of holding looks like a bowl of incense. Okay, where she's just kind of receiving here. So let's see. What do you need to know right now, group 1? What is this about waiting for important information, Spirit, for group number 1? We have the 10 of Wands. Some of you could be feeling super stressed out, overwhelmed, burdened by responsibilities, needing to rest. We have the Ace of Cups. This could be about some kind of opportunity here. It could be something creative. Some of you, it might be having to do with your love life situation. This could also be a need for emotional release here, healing. We have the 2 of Swords, which could be when we feel conflicted, confused, indecisive. We have the Temperance card here, which is telling us to basically wait. Temperance is about patience. Okay? Temperance is also about change. Something being woven, something being transmuted here. This is about balance. So perhaps if you are someone, again, who's feeling super stressed out, overwhelmed, maybe even emotionally, this could be blocking you or making you feel confused because you're not able to intuit the information that you need to. So temperance is a need for balance. Mind, body, spirit, balance. We feel in alignment. We're open to receive. The Tower. Okay. The Strength card. Okay, so there's a Tower here. This Tower energy could be coming through as some type of epiphany, some type of realization. It's telling you something's going to change. Okay. Now the Tower can be something that happens unexpectedly. It can create upheaval in our life, but remember that the Towers are always for our highest good. This could be something that's helping you to shift in some way. The Four of Swords is a need for pausing, reflecting, healing, meditating, having peace of mind, calming the mind. Okay. The Strength card has to do with self-control. It has to do with our ego. So your ego might be like, I want to know what this is right now. There could be a lot of fears that are coming in. So the Strength card is where we have control over that, control over the ego versus letting the ego control you and kind of, put you in a head spin here, trying to figure everything out. This is about being calm. Calming your energy, right? She looks very calm. Let's see what else. What do you need to know right now? Nine of Swords in reverse. This is letting go of the overthinking, because when we're overthinking, overanalyzing, we're not in a state of receiving. We're not in a state of receptivity where we can observe. This is a time to observe right now. Page of Swords. This is about gathering information, receiving communication. Maybe some of you are waiting for some kind of communication from something or someone here. The Seven of Swords is going to be a need for you to be strategic. Some of you could even be receiving a message from someone that could, be some big change here, drastic change. And I feel like when you're receiving this information, it's going to be important for you to keep yourself grounded here. Because you're needing to handle whatever this is. There's the Devil. The Devil can certainly create a lot of fears. And I feel like this is about you releasing fears. So we've got Sagittarius, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Leo, and Aries and Scorpio here. Seven of Pentacles is at the bottom, which is about also being patient. Another card that's telling us to be patient. So whatever this Tower is, I'm going to clarify it, but whatever this Tower energy is, some of you could be going through some type of Tower moment right now. And it's creating a lot of fear and a lot of maybe irrational thinking, confusion, indecision. The Seven of Pentacles requires us to take time to reevaluate, reassess, right? So this is about you staying calm amidst the chaos here. Whatever is changing, whatever is shifting, I feel like Spirit's saying, don't freak out. Don't freak out. Why is the Tower here? Five of Swords. Ooh, Knight of Wands in reverse. Four of Pentacles and the Hermit. Okay. Some of you, this could be connected to another person, where there could be something that a person says or does, and it feels like this person could be someone, there could be some type of manipulation here, betrayal. This could be a person who's very confrontational, a person who has a temper, a person who's trying to control you in some way, or trying to control or manipulate maybe your choice or your decision. So I feel like this is where you have to choose what is best for you, regardless of what is going on with that person. For others of you, I see this as a need for you to let go of that energy of impatience. Okay? Because the Knight of Wands in reverse can be a very temperamental energy. It's kind of like, I want what I want and I want it now. Okay? Five of Swords can also be self-sabotaging thoughts. The Four of Pentacles can be when we're clinging onto something. This is about possession and control. So if the universe is helping you or trying to help you to shift or change, there's a need for you to go with the flow with that and not try to kind of hang on to dear life to that old structure, that old foundation. The Hermit energy is about you going within. Okay? Reflecting deeply within. It's dealing with whatever change this is bringing about here. So there's a need for being strategic here. So when Spirit's saying wait for more information, don't feel the need to be so reactive right while this Tower moment could be happening. It's a need for you to make a decision, the best decision you can make for yourself, regardless of whatever the situation is. Going to be different for all of you, but to come from a very clear, grounded headspace, remaining calm, not letting fear get in the way. Okay. What is this about waiting for more information, Spirit? What is this message with the Oracle? Is there anything else we're missing here? Page of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. This is a new beginning here. Okay. So this Page of Pentacles is about feeling the eagerness for starting something new. It could be a new project. For somebody, it might be a new job. It could involve money, income, wealth, right? Death in reverse. So yes, there's definitely change happening. Some of this change could involve your money. Maybe it's a change for work. Okay? Change for a job. Some of you with that Five of Swords energy here, if you are by chance in a toxic work environment, okay, I would say if there's a person who's saying something to you that upsets you, try to keep calm, okay? Try not to be so reactive or to lash out. This could also be the way that the universe is trying to get you to let go, say, of that toxic work environment, okay? Maybe this is helping to provide more clear direction in terms of where you're going next, in terms of your career or your job. The Death card in reverse can be when we have a resistance to change. There's something that we're not letting go of that we should be. So maybe for some of you, the way in which you're making money or where you're at for work could be something that needs changing. This could be providing a new opportunity for you in the way that you make money. It could also be those of you that are involved, say like in a love situation where you're not receiving what you need. If a person is mishandling the connection, if there's any type of manipulation happening here and you've been clinging and trying to hold on to this person, have a fear of letting them go, and the person is manipulating you or stringing you along, this could be asking you or showing to you with the Tower here, if the universe is showing to you that something's just not aligning with this person, this could be about you having the strength to just let go, okay? Like I said, the Tower is always happening for our highest good. It's helping us to release some type of false reality, the breakdown of a false reality. We might feel like we have something solid or that something's aligned for us when it may not be. So the universe might show to you, right, time and time again, let go, let go, let go. So I feel like this is something that you're going to feel intuitively, okay? Some of you might be being called in a new direction here. So this is where, again, you're going to have to trust what you're receiving intuitively when it's time to make that change, okay? Being strategic about it and how you plan it. Again, not letting fear get in the way, okay? All right, so that is all that I have for you, group number 1. I do hope this is helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, group 2. So those of you that resonate with the Jade and the Shaman, it says trust in higher forces. So we're asking Spirit today what you need to know right now And I feel like with this message of the shaman, trusting in higher forces, this is the higher forces that are guiding you, that are leading you. You can see this as your higher self. You can see this as source, spirit, God, universe, your ancestors, your passed on loved ones. So let's get a little bit more information here. Group number 2. What is this about, Spirit, for group number 2? Trusting in higher forces. What does group 2 need to know right now about trusting in higher forces? Knight of Pentacles. I feel like this does, I'm seeing an owl sitting at the top of the shaman's head. Owls are a symbol a symbol of wisdom, of knowledge, of intuition, of receiving. This is the owl is sitting right on top of the shaman's head, which I see this as the crown chakra, which is you receiving downloads, information, something that you need to pay attention to as well. I'm seeing there's little bells on the antlers that are on the shaman's headdress here. Feathers, bells. There's the High Priestess. I love that. Yeah. So the Knight of Pentacles is about moving forward. This could be steps that you're taking for your future. Now, when we're in the Knight of Pentacles energy, this does require us to commit ourselves to something, to dedicate, to take slow and steady steps towards making sure that every step that we take forward is in alignment with what your intuition is guiding you to do. So this could really be in any area of your life. I'm going to leave it open for that. Okay. It's how you're moving forward. We want to make sure that what we're doing is in our highest alignment. And the High Priestess is our access to that knowledge, to that information, to what you're receiving. Okay. Trust that your higher self is guiding you, leading you. Your soul, however you choose to look at this. What do you need to know right now? The Hermit. Okay, so this is about going within. So this feels like there's something that you're going to be moving ahead with. The Chariot is about steady progress, moving forward, leading yourself towards success, towards victory. This is something that also requires willpower and determination and focus, right? So in order for us to feel right where we're going, where we're being pulled intuitively, there's a need for you to spend time in introspection and reflection here. So what is this about trusting in higher forces? The King of Swords. Okay. So the King of Swords is about mastery of the mind, the sword suit. The swords have to do with our thoughts, our ideas, our communication, our action, our words. The King of Swords is about higher consciousness. Okay? Higher consciousness. So we are using or making decisions here because the King of Swords is extremely emotionally intelligent. It is very much about logic, but also intuition. So we're in a clear, logical, rational mind. We're focusing on truth. We're focusing on reality, on the vision, on the dream, on the plan. The King of Swords is a visionary, so that we know exactly what we need to do, when we need to do it, and the way in which we know with precision is to trust and feel into what the intuition is guiding you to do and how you're to move forward. Okay? We're not just moving impulsively or out of fear and insecurities or a very ungrounded energy. The Knight of Pentacles is the grounding force. It's very connected to earth, right? So we want to be grounded, and we also want to be open to receive that information and how to move forward. Let's see. What do you need to know right now? Group 2, about trusting in higher forces. The Judgment card. Okay, so there is going to be a big decision here. A big decision. Judgment is about making a judgment call. Could also be about answering the call of your soul. So this feels like a very important life decision. Magician, yeah. Magician is about focused intention. Focused intention, willpower, manifestation, creating your reality. Of the Ten of Swords here. Some of you are in your head. Too much overthinking, overanalyzing. You need to feel. Intuition is a feeling, not thinking. Okay. This is a need for quieting the mind here. Three of Swords. I like how we have both King and Queen. I'm sorry, King of Swords and King of Cups here. Because I feel like there's a balance here between head and heart. Okay. The Three of Swords could be some kind of... For some of you, this might have to do with love life. Okay. Ending something. There could be an ending here. A breakup. A separation. Some of you might be being guided away from a person or a situation. Perhaps this is Spirit not wanting you to allow your emotions to dictate your decision here, or your direction, or what you're choosing here. For some of you, this Three of Swords can have to do with past disappointments. Things that didn't work out in your favor. And it's kind of like, oh, well, because, you know, that didn't work out for me the last time I tried to do that, then maybe I should just not do this, you know? So it's kind of like you're needing here to trust that there's a big decision you're going to have to make here. And Spirit is wanting you to trust in the information that you're receiving intuitively, so that you know how to move forward. And you're moving forward in a place of clear, sound mind and heart. The King of Cups is a representation of emotional maturity and being calm. Okay? Knowing how to navigate even the most difficult of emotions, so we're not allowing ourselves to be influenced emotionally with the decision that you're needing to make here. The King of Swords has to do with truth, reality. Sometimes it's a harsh truth that we need to face about a person or about a situation. So this is super important, is what this feels like here for you. Why is the Judgment card here? And we do have Pisces, Virgo, Cancer, Scorpio, Gemini, Virgo. We have air sign energy here. Also Libra and Aquarius. And then we've got Scorpio energy here as well. Why is Judgment here? Pisces, Cancer. Why is Judgment here? The World. So something's ending here, or needs to come to an end. This is a completion of a cycle. Successfully completing a cycle, being done with something, ending something here is what you're being called to do. Seven of Swords. Maybe some of you have been some of you, this might be some of you, this could be a commitment, a connection. Some of you, it could be a workplace. Okay. The Hierophant can symbolize an institution or some type of company that you work for. Perhaps there's been a feeling here of wanting to end something, or, you know, questioning, like, should I leave this place, or should I leave this relationship? Should I leave this marriage? Some of you may also be dealing with a situation with a person who could be deceiving you into believing that what you're involved in is going to lead to a committed partnership for you. And this is where we need to really trust. Are we going to keep ourselves on that same path with something that's not progressing and not moving forward? Or are we going to choose to bring this cycle to an end? So again, this is where, do we want to repeat the same cycle again? Or do we want to recognize that something may not necessarily be in alignment for us, whether relationship or job, however this fits into your life, friendship even, and not run away and avoid running from the truth. Okay? Something needs to come to an end here. We have the Page of Swords at the bottom and the Seven of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. So some of you are not receiving what you need here. Some of you are feeling this feeling of void or emptiness or lack or needs not being met. Or even some of you that are wanting to change jobs, contemplating changing jobs, are feeling frustrated with where you're at and feeling like you're not getting where you want to be in terms of your career. The Five of Pentacles could be that you are worried about money, scarcity mindset, poverty consciousness, that feeling that you can't make it elsewhere, that you can't pursue the dream or the goal or the thing that you really want to do because you're worried that you're not going to have the resources. You feeling like it's not going to be possible for you, or that you're not going to make money, or that your needs are not going to be met. Okay, so there's going to be a need for you to really pay close attention to observing those types of thoughts and work on releasing them, not letting them block you, because you're being intuitively guided towards something that's going to help you to change in a positive way. The universe is not going to steer you in the wrong direction. Okay, you have to trust what you're feeling. Trust that you are going to be supported. Trust that you're going to be provided for. Okay, some of you this has to do with moving to a new job. Some of you this could be moving into a position of entrepreneurship. Some of you this might even involve a move of community. Maybe the community that you're living in right now does not resonate for you any longer. This could be you moving to traveling, maybe relocating for some of you to a whole brand new community. Maybe you're thinking, which community should I live in? Should I live at this place over here? Should I go to this place? And again, we don't want to base those decisions from a place of, you know, oh, this last place didn't work out, or this happened over here, that happened over there. Yes, it's important for us to look at the past, right? And to use discernment in how we make choices and decisions moving forward. But we also want to make those important decisions in life from a place of groundedness, a place of balance, a place of you choosing what is absolutely best for you in that. Okay, so some of you, it could be a whole new community, it could be a job change, something of that nature. Okay, all right, so that is all that I have for you, group 2. I do hope this is helpful for you, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonated with the Peacemaker card and the Opalite, this is going to be your reading today. So we're asking Spirit what you need to know right now. This card says, let go of the need to be right, being a peacekeeper. So this could be perhaps making sure that you are letting go of the need to maybe to prove a point, or trying to, you know, make a person see something your way, in order to stay grounded, in alignment. Maybe some of you are putting forth a lot of energy with trying to get a person to see your side of things. So we'll just kind of see where this is going, but that's just kind of what I'm feeling intuitively with that. The Peacekeeper here. This could have to do with anyone, you know, a person at work, a relationship, a family member. Maybe with it, it could be something that's kind of making you reactive, or, you know, trying to want someone to see something our way. But sometimes we have to also understand that people have their own perspectives. They have their own opinions. Sometimes we just have to accept, right, situations for what they are, or how a person chooses to look at something. Sometimes we could be expending a lot of energy trying to get a person to see something our way, and it's not working, it's not helping. So this could be surrendering and letting go of the need to control as well. So let's see. Group 3, what do you need to know right now? Perhaps it could be something, a situation that's creating conflict, and Spirit's like basically telling us to just not, you know, not engage. What do you need to know right now? Look, the 5 of Wands, okay? That is conflict. That is competition, that is jealousy, envy, comparison. You know, the Five of Wands can talk about petty fights and arguments, disagreements between siblings, between other people being involved. Fighting something. We've got the High Priestess in reverse. The High Priestess in reverse could be when we're listening to other people's opinions, not listening to our own intuition. Let's see. What do you need to know right now? We have the Ten of Cups. Some of you, like I said, it has to do with family. Family could even be a person that you're involved with, close to you, like a close family or friend. Wow, we've got the Devil. Ace of Cups. Five of Pentacles. Nine of Cups. Page of Swords. The Tower. Okay. Yeah. The Devil energy can also talk about emotional manipulation and maybe the need to control something. Being very obsessed with something here. So the Tower energy is about chaos, upheaval. Perhaps some of you could be, you know, receiving or communicating with someone. The Page of Swords, I will say, can be a little bit of like a smart alecky kind of energy, like a smart aleck. So I want to look at this a little bit deeper here. The Page of Swords is a need for us to observe something, pay attention, pay close attention to maybe, let's just say if it's like a person that you're dealing with in your life and they're kind of taking you down or into a certain mindset, a way of thinking, a way of speaking. So let's see, what is this? Five of Wands doing here? You know, the Page of Swords is an energy of a novice, an energy of learning, studying this, because the Page energies, they represent inexperience, okay? So perhaps there's something for you to learn here when it comes to your own growth and how you speak, how you communicate with others. Let's see. We have the Four of Swords and the Sun. Okay, so we've got Pisces here. We've got Leo, Capricorn, Aries, Scorpio. We also have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Like I said, some of you could be, I want to say, maybe even being triggered by someone, okay? And I feel like with the Four of Swords here, the Four of Swords is about calm and peaceful energy. The Sun has to do with also joy and happiness, you know? So if there's a person, right, or something that you're dealing with here that perhaps you're finding triggering, or a person that you're just not getting along with, a person's not seeing, you know, things where you're not seeing eye to eye with someone, I feel like it's important for you to not allow whatever that situation is or whatever this person's ideas are to not let them cause you to, I almost feel like lowering yourself to meet them on their level, where you kind of take the high road here. And let's see why this High Priestess is in reverse. Queen of Cups. Five of Cups. For some of you, you can be being emotionally reactive here, okay? There could be something about a person or a situation that you're dealing with that has caused you grief or pain, discouragement, disappointment. Okay, this could even be feelings of guilt or regret or remorse that you have, or somebody who put you in that position. Some of you, it might be someone at work. For others of you, it could be someone that you're in a relationship with. And it feels like your emotions could be leading you here, okay? That could be clouding your judgment and kind of making you go against what your own intuition could be telling you in this situation. We've got Taurus energy here. Why is the Devil here? Ooh, Ace of Swords in reverse and the Queen of Swords. Okay, some of you, there could be a person who's not being honest with you, or that you're not being honest with yourself about something here. And the Queen of Swords is truth. It's honesty. It's clarity. It's also being very direct with something that you are communicating here. And so I feel like, let's just say that you're in an argument with somebody and you know that they're lying. You know that they're not telling the truth, because the Ace of Swords in reverse could be something that's not, someone's not being honest. Someone's telling a lie. And you might feel like you want to continue to tell that person, like, I know you're lying, or I know, you know, like where you just keep going and going and going to prove a point, or to, you know, and this could resort to trying to find ways of manipulating the truth out of this person to try to get answers, or to try to, you know, get some kind of truth that this person is maybe not prepared to face, not wanting to acknowledge, not wanting to take responsibility for. So this could be a need for us to really look at the energy that we are also, right, putting out, and to understand. It almost kind of feels like choosing your battles wisely, okay? Because the Nine of Cups energy has to do with satisfaction. It has to do with fulfillment. So we might feel like, oh, well, if I could just say this one thing to this person to get them to understand how I feel, or, you know, the grief that I feel, or the pain that I feel, or the, you know, whatever it might be. But I feel like this is where Spirit is saying that for some of you, it might be just be about letting whatever this is go, you know, and feeling that if this is the way that the person wants to handle this situation, if they're not wanting to be upfront, if they're not wanting to be honest, if they're not being straightforward with you, and they're fighting it, they're resisting it, it's something that's causing conflict, is it really worth it to continue to put forth that kind of energy? Some of you, this does have to do with a person that you're dealing with in your love life, who is not being honest, who could be very defensive, who could be very dismissive. Even if you're hurt, right? If you're hurt by something the person said or did, and you're like trying to get them to see, you know, all the ways in which whatever they've done has affected you mentally, emotionally, and they're just someone who's stuck in a toxic pattern of behavior, is it better to just kind of be done with that person or that energy or whatever that situation is? The world is here, which is about being done, completing a cycle. The Queen of Swords is a very wise energy. This could be about acknowledging where, okay, yes, this person has some unhealthy behaviors here. Maybe they're not going to change, and we can't force them to change. We can't force them to grow. Some of you are dealing with a person where there is a big difference in terms of the way each of you communicate. And some of you might feel like you're arguing with a person who's super immature, and you might have a way of communicating and they have a way of receiving that in a way that is not the way that you intended. Or it could be that they're, like I said, the Page of Swords can be a very smart alecky energy. So it could be a person that just, like, when you say something to them, speaking from your own truth or how you feel or what you think, they could respond in a way that is not even worth it, to try to continue to have a conversation with them. Because the Page of Swords energy, the pages, like I said, they represent youthful energy, a novice, inexperience, where the Queen of Swords knows how to communicate better, right? So this could be a situation where you're dealing with a person where there's a difference, right, between what you're able to process intellectually versus the other person, okay? Now that maturing here could be something that you need to do, or it could even be the other person. Sometimes because the Page of Swords energy, I kind of look at that, the difference there between the Queen and the Page. This is like arguing with a child. You're not going to be able to get the other person to see the way that you want them to see it, because they just don't have the capacity to do that, right? They might have a lot of maturing to do, a lot of growing intellectually, a lot more of learning how to communicate better, right? This is still learning here, Page energy. So it might make us feel like we're trying to, continue to get a person to see something in our way, because it's going to give us some form of satisfaction, but at what cost, right? Is it going to affect us mentally? Is it going to affect us emotionally? So is it better to just, instead of trying to fight against whatever this situation is or this person, it just be an understanding that they're stuck in a toxic pattern. It's the way that they act. They might be a person with the devil energy here who has some very unhealthy patterns of behavior. They could be a person who's manipulative. They could be a person who lies, and doesn't say the truth. And so is it better for you with the Tower is here? So the Tower is the breakdown of a false reality. It could be seeing a person for who they really are, or it could be seeing certain aspects of ourselves that we have to work towards releasing, because the devil energy can be our ego, right? We might be wanting to get a point across to satisfy the ego, right? Versus, is this really right for us? Is it really something that we should be doing? Especially if there's something that's happened and we're kind of like obsessing over it, and we're like, just like, I need to know, I want to know, because it's going to give us that satisfaction, maybe it's something that's caused certain insecurities, and we want to keep trying to understand it. And this is where Spirit might be saying, like, let's just keep the peace. This could be a person or a situation that's just kind of throwing you out of alignment. And the more that we try to give this person our time, our energy, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, it could just be taken away from you rather than what it's giving back to you. So the Tower helps us to release something. We could be having some kind of epiphany or realization. Again, seeing a person for who they really are, seeing their true colors. We could be seeing certain shadow aspects coming out in a person and how they speak, how they communicate. Are they full of drama? Or is this that we are kind of embodying the energy, and this is something that we need to acknowledge within ourselves to work on healing? Okay, so let's see why the Tower is here. 9 of Wands, 8 of Cups. Yeah, so I feel like, maybe you're in a situation here with the 9 of Wands where you're feeling a little wounded, guarded, maybe, or the person that you're dealing with is wounded and guarded. And we're not getting the reaction or the response or the energy that we're wanting from them, right? Maybe we're not getting clear communication. We're not getting honesty, whatever it might be. The 8 of Cups, I feel like this is in a way where you need to emotionally disengage from this person, from this energy. The 8 of Cups is about emotional detachment, right? So if there's something going on here, the letting go of the need to be right? Again, proving a point, or trying to get our voice to be heard with the person who doesn't care to listen, you know, or to understand us, or to take the time to be compassionate or empathetic, and they just don't have that, you know, and we're still upset about it and letting it be something that affect us. This is where we need to kind of disengage. Okay. 8 of Cups is about emotional abandonment. Some of you, it could be a person that you're dealing with who's chosen to not talk to you, or to not communicate with you in a healthy way, a healthy manner. And instead of, you know, having a difficult conversation and having a sit down, they just choose to up and walk away, you know? And again, we can't force someone to listen. You know, they have to be open and receptive to it. And sometimes we just have to understand there's just some people that we encounter in life that just don't care to. They just don't want to see eye to eye. So this could be a need for you to emotionally detach from this person, this situation, especially for those of you where it's causing a lot of grief and a lot of clouded energy for you, in terms of you ignoring your own intuition, or listening to what other people are saying, other people's judgments, other people's criticisms, and ignoring what your own intuition is telling you. And for some of you, there could be a huge lesson here, you know, for you, what you've got going on with this other person here. Yeah, some of you, this has to do with love. You know, it could be a person who is filled with empty promises, or, you know, a person who's not being completely open and honest with their feelings, and we're just like trying to pull it out of them. And if they're just like in denial and not wanting to talk about it, and just kind of leaving you out in the cold, shutting you out, and we're just like, but I know you have feelings. I know that you feel this way, and they're just not wanting to. We can't force them, right? So again, this is where I feel like for some of you, there's a need for you to disengage emotionally for whatever the situation is. Again, it could be anyone in your life, family members, friends, a boss, a sibling, a romantic partner, a marital partner is what I'm seeing here too. Okay. Detach. Okay. The Tower energy is helping to release something that is chaotic in our life. Maybe we're trying to hold on to a situation that's falling apart, and it's better for us to just let go, okay, of that. I want to ask Spirit here, why is it important for you to let go of the need to be right here? Why is it important for you to let go of the need to be right? Why? 3 of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. It kind of feels, with that 6 of Pentacles in reverse, that you're not going to receive, you're not going to get what you want out of it, okay? It could be that the person is just not wanting to reciprocate the energy. They're not wanting to give back in some way. And with the Strength card here, this is about being calm. It's about not letting your impulsive actions or words to kind of get the better of you. This is you maintaining your calm, meaning that we're not letting people get under our skin. We're not letting people affect us that deeply, right? With how they feel, how they think, what their actions are, where you have control over your own energy. You're not letting what someone else is saying or doing to affect you on that deep of a level, you know, where it starts to cause you to think irrationally, or to make impulsive decisions, or to try to manipulate in some way, or try to control in some regard. So this is about you controlling your own ego and your own ego's desire for satisfaction. If I could only say that one thing, or if I can only get them to see it this way, then that will make me feel better. You know what I'm saying? So this is understanding that even if we try, we're not necessarily going to get what we want from it. You know, we might feel like it's going to give us that satisfaction, but is it really? And I feel like that's what Spirit's saying here. Try to keep the peace. This is choosing your battles wisely and deciding who gets your energy, right? Is it worth your energy? I feel like, is it worth allowing yourself to get to a certain level of with a person, or to let this affect you in that way? Okay. All right. So that is all that I have for you, group 3. I do hope this is helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading.